Good afternoon, 12:05, January 3rd, 2018. This is midday review. We're going to take a quick look at some of the charts. I'm going to look at some of the movers, the momentums for the day, some of the ones that have alarmed, and then some of the ones that I'm watching. And I'm going to move fairly quick because I have workers here ready to put a hole in my wall for a deck that's being built. So I promised them that I would move it along as quick as possible. They're prepared for an hour if need be though. Okay, so let's get going with what's going on here for the day. So quick, my SPXL long SPY trade from last week's going well. So this trade started right back in here at the SPY trigger here. Rode it all the way along, and I've started to release little bits and got up through, what's that, 268.74 today in pre-market, and then up above this quad wall here, 269.12. So I'm holding 50% of my position. It was, I think, my largest position of the last year in terms of dollar value. I was in 5/10 sizing. Got past this 269.43, then it was 269.50, and then this resistance now is 269.97, and the target possible was 270.31 on the day. So it's been fantastic. It's been good timing. If it comes off at all, I was actually planning on adding, but it just hasn't come off for me to do that. So I'm not too sure what to do now. I'm holding for sure either way, but I don't know if I'll cut and then re-add. You know, it's really bullish. So I haven't made a decision there yet. INSY. So I got in this morning. I think around 12, if I remember right, around 12.80. I'd have to check the books here, but anyway, I got out on the day trade side with about a 50-cent. I think it was out 13.40 or something like that. On the day trade side, I'm holding a swing trade side because on the daily it's over the 200. I'm actually expecting it to pull back a bit. The 20 is coming through the 100. And I figure that 20, as it pushes up, it'll eventually meet price somewhere in here, I don't know, 11, 12 bucks, and then continue its run. I'm only in 1/10 size on a swing, so that's my general trade idea there. So it's a little loose for me right now, but because it's 1/10, I'm not really concerned. So that's what I'm doing with INSY. Do I have a target in there? No, not yet. Am I going to model this thing out to figure out exactly where my targets are? Probably. But for now, I'm just holding, and we'll add on pullbacks. JP, I ran that on charting this morning, and the daily kind of shows you what's going on there. The 20 underneath the 50 like that with price above, as long as price stays above, that's a really strong setup. MACD, everything's trending, and so I'm looking at some positions there. HGSH was the big mover on the day. I'm just showing you what's on the board for now. Trading 312 right now is way up. 448, I guess, was the high on the day. Anyway, it's come off quite a bit since then, but it's not a great chart. It doesn't hold its value. So that's HGSH. Take a quick boo at some of these others here. CHCI, it came up on my scanners fairly early in the process. I was actually thinking about possibly hitting it, but the chart was so bad. I thought, then you know, if it comes off, I'll be the bad guy because there'll be a bunch of people holding junk. Anyway, not a great chart. ARWR, one that we've been watching over and over and over, finishing its gap bay here. I don't know what to tell you from here forward. All I can say is if it does get up over this resistance area between 474 and it's almost a double inside of there, then I could go more so. But it's a tough chart to read. But it looks like it's bottomed. SCG. I don't think I've traded this one before. So possible bottom, I guess. Don't like the chart at all. It's a really sloppy chart. It's working up under its 200. I'm just going to fly through the ones that don't set up here. LEDS. I'm just going to go with the symmetry argument here and say this chart doesn't, day trading vehicle, sure, but that's about it. RENN, still trending, and we shall see how it does through the resistance. So same idea, basically the same chart as ARWR. TEUM. So pumper's paradise here. It is trending off the bottom, there's no doubt about it. But you have to remember where it started too, right? So this is a money taker. And sure, when it pops off bottoms, like here, this is a double bottom, I guess. When it pops off bottoms, they look like heroes to people that don't understand, I guess, maybe. I don't know what the real intention is there, but anyway, it's possible this is bottom. It's over the 200. I mean, technically, right? And look at the Momo. So if you get good at doing that, wow, what a return, right? So you can't really knock it, but really, really difficult to trade through it. You gotta have a ton of conviction. That's the problem. You just gotta think to yourself every single time it does that, what happens to these people? And every time they thought the same thing. So you just gotta use your skill, your day trading skill, but tough. I mean, I've been around a long time. I hate to admit that, but I have, and it's not easy to trade something like that. LINK, so working up through its MAs now. Do I think it's done? It's down draft? No, I don't. I just don't think so. Based on the chart, I think it's got more down. Could be bottom, but I doubt it. So, there's a little bit of a theme going on here. Here's another one, CHRS. Same idea. Junky chart, period. Doesn't respect the 200 or anything once. URGN. So earlier I was looking at this one, and I mean, how often do you get a chart like this? I just can't even comment on it, technically speaking. If symmetry holds true, like, wouldn't that be funny? It just keeps going up this way, Anyway, yeah, there's nothing technically I can give you there. INSY, of course, CHRS, trending chart, but junky. Goes up, goes back down, it's under 200. It's just, but it's trending. So who knows? WTI offshore, so same idea, trending, junky chart, but trending. So there's a few of these, right? And as long as you've got the conviction, you buy on the low side of that symmetry as it goes up and down. So none of these really follow the rules of great setups that we're looking for. Here's another offshore, right? Same idea. the goal for me is to find charts that offer good liquidity, predictability, they're well defined, and will bring triple-digit returns here. That's the goal. So on days like this, I looked through these before I got on, and on another monitor, and I thought, oh boy, I gotta be the bad guy here, but it's not great. Like this is not easy to trade this. It is over the 200. That's the tricky part here is that sure, technically it's over the 200, and technically it's in play. There's just no doubt about it. It's just not great. So it's not that they're so bad, it's just, you know, because as soon as you get up and over this 200, it's really in play. So, and that, you know, that same thing, like if you played that on TEUM, once it got up it's over its 200, you'd be well rewarded, even though it's a junky chart. So you got to kind of, you know, respect it, but it'll pop up over the 200 like here many times. But once it starts to get legs over the 200, then you can work it. So I guess what I'm saying is right here, December 22nd, I came back and tested the 20 after popping through the 200, come back and gone. That's not such a bad place at all. And actually I looked at getting in there. I just didn't because I didn't really like it and I had other options. But just so you know kind of where your main opportunities lie. So this is a scenario, right? Same kind of scenario. Gets up over the 200, pops, comes off, here comes the 20, and if it pops up, you know, you're in pretty good stead there. Just try and time the stock RSI so it turns, because that's your overbought, oversold. Once it cranks back up, you know, you can go with it. As long as your MACD isn't too extended, and it's not yet. There's still room there. Same idea here, right? Gets up over its 200, goes back to the 20, it fails, actually kicks off the 50, goes up, comes back to the 20, kicks off. They're just not sweet like primo. They're there. They are technically there. They're just not primo. This one's just junk. That's PABM. Doesn't follow any, you know, predictability. Same thing here, right? Over the 200, comes back, and it's popping now off of, not sure exactly what, but it's starting to pop a little bit. MACD's starting to turn up. That's your biggest indicator. That actually curls up. Squeeze momentum's trending, stock RSI. So this isn't a bad risk reward, but they're just not great. And for whatever reason, they come in birds of a feather flock together, you know, themes. And today's theme is just not fantastic. This ARWR has serious potential. It's just not predictable. And I just came back to this one specifically because its structure, the chart structure itself, has serious potential. It's just not predictable. And it is over the 200, and it is popping off the MAs. So if there was one that I was going to pick to go with, it would probably be that one. And I would time it so that my stock RSI was, you know, as close to the bottom as possible and turn back up. Because your MACD is trending, squeeze momentum is trending, your volume's up. So if that stock RSI goes back up, you probably got great risk reward. It's probably going to be a good one. Just not the easiest to trade is all. As far as ones that have come off, I looked earlier, so I'm actually at an advantage there. I don't think there was any have changed here. I'm just looking through the list here. See, this is an example where you might want to watch for a good pop, but see, it didn't get good lift after popping here on the 28th NETE as it came back to the MAs. So it's not a great sign. Yeah. There wasn't any earlier. I'm just checking just to be sure here. Okay, so not a great chart day, unfortunately. Apologize. Yesterday was a good chart day. If you haven't been in that video, get in there and take a look around. Because I've got these workers waiting, I'm not going to get into many or in depth in those, but let's just take a really quick peek at some of them here just to get a feel. Just going to fly through them here real quick. Because I think what you'll see is over the next, period of days, you'll see a lot of these prove out. So SKT was one that Sean brought in to the curve here. First one's going to take a minute to open, and then, actually, you know what? I can do this another way. Ouch. Jeez. So there's the underside test of the 200 on SKT. If you're following this one, be very careful with this 20 because it could push it through that 200 without, a lot of effort. So JP, remember these move in, these setups move in unison. So when they start going, they all kind of go at the same time. So here's JP, it's still set up properly. All of the indicators are bold. Like this setup with the 50, price above, 20 coming through. If that price is above, when that 20 is coming through, this thing will go. I was surprised it didn't gap this morning. MNKD. So basically what I'm saying is yesterday was a great setup day with some great charts, and what I would do is I'd go back to that video, I'd study them out and others that might have set up yesterday because the theme was right, and these will form and develop a fantastic place. NTEC, I just want to see this one here. NTEC, yeah. So these are all resting today. But that, don't let that fool you. Because when the theme that's in play today ends and money flow comes back to these setups, they'll be serious setups. Don't let them off your radar. Okay, who's got charts you want to take a quick look at? If anybody, or share with your team. APRI. Let's take a look. So yeah, try not to let those go. I'm going to stay on top of them. I've got them alarmed. I know that there's gold in there. I was working on one of the swing reports between this morning session and lunch, and I should be able to get it out tonight. And there's some more nice setups in there too. APRI. Oh, I could have done this the easy way. Let's do it here. Yeah, so that's another example. So when you're playing bottoms, understanding bottom structure, it takes time. But one of the things you look for is just a simple trend. But that trajectory you want to be careful with, right? From the perspective of, like, I have a lot of people bring charts to me and say, well, Kurt, it's got the 200. Yeah, that's one thing. But if it stays down there too long, like if that trajectory is too shallow, you can sit down there for a long time, even though you have the 200. This one isn't so bad. It's not great in terms of trajectory, but I betcha. See, this is really good how this is double bottomed and it's trended up. I bet you got a bottom here. Like today, if it stays over this area, over that 214. I think you got a bottom. It's got kind of a little funky gap there into 10 bucks. It's a pretty interesting chart. Where did oh wow, 86 cents. Very interesting risk reward. Good chart. I mean, really 292 is your resistance. Trading 214, 220. Not the best volume on $2 stock, 643,000, but man, it's hard to ignore this one. What a great chart. Okay, I'm gonna maybe be able to work through this one. I'm gonna save this one. APRI. And then as I'm going through, I'm adding some to this swing trading report I'm working on. If I can get it structured nicely, I'll add it to it. Okay, so that's APRI. Any other ideas? I like that one. It's not a 10 out of 10, but it's really good. Risk reward is super high. Can you imagine working that baby up into, like, that thing could triple so easy. Anyway, thanks. LTC. LTC. Why not? Let's look at it. So we're working on a model on this one. That's why I kind of laughed. So I got to be careful with what I say here. But so right now I've got 5 or 6, well, it'd be 6 in the works for the crypto that I've been slowly working on over the last 2.5, 3 months, and this is one of them. So I'm not going to say anything about what's in the model because it's not done. We're going to try and get them all out by mid-January at the latest. So from a conventional perspective, I'll tell you what I got here. So first of all, the stock RSI turning up is a huge deal. Where's your test between your stock RSI turning up and the 20 MA? That's your test area. So it doesn't sound like a huge, like a huge revelation, but if you traded just that, you'd be fine. So what do I mean by that? As it gets up to that 20, back off on the throttle, let it get up over the 20, and then re-hit the throttle. The reason I'm saying that is that now that that stock RSI is up, that's a huge support or lift. That's overbought and oversold, right? So it was way oversold, and the chances of that turning back down before price gets to the 20 MA is very, very slim. So your risk reward is super high to the bull side when the stock RSI is turned up. It's moderately high to the bearish side as it gets close to the 20. But it's a huge bull advantage right now, massive bull advantage. Now, what's not in play here, MACD and the squeeze momentum yet, but they'll follow in behind, right? So the MACD will turn, squeeze momentum will turn as price gets back to the 20. So then what do you how do you actually trade the darn thing? Go down to the hourly. And you follow the same rules that we use for the equities. So it has the 200. Now typically, when this happens, it'll pop up over the 200, and then it'll fail the 200 and then go, right, and get into the bowl. What's actually happening here, so this 50 MA is working up. If that 50 takes it up and over, your chances get really good that it's going to break through that 20 MA on the 1 day. So it sounds like a whole bunch of MA talk, but you know what? There's reasoning behind that, and if you follow it through, and say the 50 doesn't take it, watch for the 100 to take it. If the 100 doesn't take it then on the 60, then you could have problems to the bull side, but chances are hugely that the 50 are going to take it, and then it's going to run. It's actually a, you know, it's a pretty darn good setup. But yeah, you trade it on the 60. But make sure it holds that 50, and if it doesn't hold the 50, then look for the 100 to hold it and push it back up through, and then go back to your daily. If you want to trade it tighter, you just go down to your 30, but that 60-minute chart is the one to use. Structurally on the 30, you know, you can do your fib retracements, and these the retracements work perfectly in the 30, but it doesn't really help you because it'll lose the 200, gain the 200 on the 30 without a problem. It's the hourly you really got to watch. That's it. Oh yeah, the Kurt indicators, hey. Yeah, so after this part of what we're doing, finishing up all of the models and stuff, we'll be done. Well, it'll be this, you know, this weekend at the very latest. So we're working through a lot of these, a lot of our models and stuff like that. So this weekend, then the crypto very latest for the other models, mid-January, and just it's cleanup month, right, for all of the stuff that we've kind of thrown out there the last year. But part of that cleanup process is some really keen 3-minute videos that explain all of this. So we'll have them out this month, but that won't be until closer to the end of the month. You know, like real simple ones where you can like go, okay, where's the one on this? Boom, there it is. Because it was all raw data up until now, right? Or raw feed data. So I'm as confused as anybody else trying to find it. I can't tell you, to be honest with you. I just don't know. I wish I could help. I know it's like a mountain of crap, right? Like, there's so much in there. But anyway, good luck with it. Yeah, any other charts you guys want to look at? We will get them done. It was a big year last year. I mean, we were just throwing stuff all over the place just to kind of get stuff out there for people. And then now, you know, January, we're cleaning everything up. And this year, we're going to drill down on what you know, we really want to drill down on specifically. But yeah, January's cleanup from last year. That would help, yeah, Crystal. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We by the way, the private coaching, it doesn't take much, because what happens is, like, I normally don't have openings, but they do come. And the cool thing about the coaching is that in a very short amount of time, I can get you, you know, I can get you from, because it's just it's a better environment, right? Because then you can ask me, you get on Skype with me or whatever, and you can ask me questions. We can walk through things live. And it's a constant communication process. Like, a lot of people just come here. That's another way. Like, I have a constant stream of people that come, stay for a bit, and then go or whatever, because there's cabins down on the beach, and they just, you know, they rent a cabin or whatever. So we have a lot of that. I think Sean's in the room. He's been here recently. But I have folks that have just left and some coming again. That's another way to do it. That's worked really well too, because I can take, you know, what you need structurally, and I can give it to you within, you know, the longest I think it's been with anybody has been 5 hours at most. Now I do have a few folks that I'm working with that they just constantly bring me good setups, and we work through those setups, and we're modeling the setups. That's kind of like, you know, it's a much more, it's a different kind of relationship. That's more of like a coaching relationship, and anybody can use a coach in that environment, like I can, right? When I'm trading, if I was trading full time, I would look to somebody to do that for me, because that helps a lot too. So there's kind of two different things I'm touching on there. But okay, gold. So I can give you the yeah, and any other questions you have, Crystal, or anybody else has, just shoot me a DM on Twitter or an email or whatever, and I'll answer any other questions you have there. Definitely more efficient way to do it than run around a bunch of raw videos, because those videos, man, like they're so raw feeds. From a conventional perspective, right? Because I got to tell you, I'm struggling with gold myself right now. It's doing things. Yeah, it's a tough one right now, man. It's tough. Stock RSI is really high, right? It can stay there for a long time, but it is high. MACD's trending though, and it's only like mid-range, and squeeze momentum's bright green and trending. Yeah. You can hear the stumpiness in my voice, right? Because I want to go after the miners either way, and my gut tells me that it's going to lose, you know, gold's going to lose its shine here any second. I can't, you know, technically, it's probably the toughest chart out there right now. Technically, you know, it says it's going to keep going. It might rest for a bit here, that stock RSI. But technically, it's go time. And I don't believe it. And it just does weird things. Gold is weird, right? Like, I mean, how many issues get a sidewinder like this? Price gets up and it loses it, right? It doesn't go up, it goes down. It's just, it's a little schizophrenic. So you got to trade it on the model. The model itself, we've got, let me put it this way. Sorry, normally I don't struggle like this to give any kind of an answer or an opinion. But the models from the holidays were iffy, and I'm updating them here fairly shortly. So what I'll do is I'll message you, Sean, on what I get out of that gold model. But if I had to lay it down on the line, I'd be starting to size in short. If I had to, like if you put a gun to my head and said you have to bet, I'd be betting short. And I know that the chart doesn't say that, but you know what? From a conventional perspective, this chart has said other things, like this was a bullish scenario and it turned it. So that's gold. So trade inside the model. The dollar model, same thing. It looks like there's a turn up coming instead of a turn down. I mean, continuation down. So I know this is part of the problem. Over the last couple of weeks, the models have been iffy because of the holidays, and that's just what happens around the holidays. But I know that the models are short-term, at least, bias long on the dollar, short on gold, short you know, metals and long S&P and very soon short oil. But all of that, except for the S&P, is kind of contrary to what's actually happening in the conventional charts and in the markets. So, you know, because it's all tests, right? Yeah. Yep, that's the best I can do on them right now. Because we're at that point, right? It's after the holidays. Everything's kind of at a point of test. So oil is at its bullish test. Gold is at its bullish test in the model. Silver's bullish test. Dollar support test. They're all at their test ranges right now. Is basically what it comes down to. Like oil, for example, is, you know, 30 cents away, 30, 40 cents away from a major test. You know, and that's, you know, that's the scenario with all of them, either to the support or the resistance side. So it's decision time for all of them coming. Cool. Anything else? I wish I could help you out more specifically with that stuff right now, but I can't. SKT. I got your note on SKT. You're talking the not. I don't know. I don't think I did. I got your first note on it, like telling me there was a setup developing there. That's all I got. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. No. I don't. How did you send that, Sean? Okay. Yeah. No, I didn't see that. Yeah, AMD looks really strong too. Okay, I hate to be the party pooper, but they're standing by my door. They're building a deck here, and they're gonna literally blow a hole through the wall right now. A big hole. I am. I'm in the DR. Yeah, yeah. If you want to come out, Crystal, there's traders here coming and going through the whole winter actually, and there's cabins and stuff. Sean knows about it. He's been here. And you can always message me on Twitter or whatever. But yeah, there's a good flow of traders in and out of here. So, and we've got a conference coming up too that we're going to announce, but we don't have dates on it yet. So, yeah. Yeah, Berlin would be cold right now. Yeah, so there's yeah, it's a pretty cool environment actually. We have like Sartaj is here right away. Rich in our group is here. Sean was recently here, and then we have, well, we've got a fellow from Finland here right now, and a constant stream actually until the end of March. So yeah, message me if you're interested. Okay, well, I've got a crew here standing here with their hammers and equipment ready to blow a hole through the wall, so I get a rooftop deck in the treetops here, and I'll chat with you later, crew. But yeah, just message me if you're interested. Talk soon. Oh, I'll be away for the afternoon, back for futures, and I got heavy reporting to do tonight, of course. We got to get the rest of our models out, and then I'm back in the room tomorrow morning. Thanks, guys. I'll leave the room open.